Goes out for that pop pass. It's not there. He's got the head about him to be able to turn and run to the corner. Dan Knight makes that pump, pulls outside, and Stacy's running out there. Plus, Dan Knight lays it right in there, and then Stacy Young makes just an unbelievable catch.
Dan Knight that time wanted to throw the quick look-in pass for post pattern. It wasn't open. So as you mentioned, John, he pumped once and rolled out to his left and looked for the second option as Brayton comes in again and kicks the extra point up. This time it's no good. He missed it wide to the right. But Knight throwing the ball for the corner in the double coverage, and Young just went up between two defenders and came down with it.
Everything worked perfect on that. You diagram all the plays in the world, Joe, and you say, okay, this is our first option, and then, all right, we're going to try this next. Usually if the first option doesn't work, it's a scrambling situation in the high school deal. And this way, everything was just perfect. Stacy Young had his head about him the whole time. So did Dan Knight, and you can see the result. 6 points on the board.
20-0 our score. Portage Central at the 5:48 mark of the second quarter. Battle Creek Central is going to be out of this ball game pretty quick if they can't put something together offensively. They ran 3 plays on their first series and fumbled. They ran 3 plays on the next series and punted.
Well, they've got to be down offensively right now. They've got to be a little bit shaken. They're wondering what they can do. How are we going to get out of this doldrums and move the ball a bit, or at least hang on to the ball, Joe, for a little while.
I think they'd like to hang on to it and keep it away from the Mustangs. And Vine puts his foot into it. Another good kick, and it bounces before it's picked up down there by Battle Creek. Larry Armstrong, again the ball carrier.
I don't know in a scouting report, Joe, if I wouldn't, or at least even not a scouting report, but just listening to people up in the press box, they wouldn't move their 3 deep people up another 6 to 10 yards. Jeff Vine dropping it right in that same dead area where this time, of course, it bounced right up into the receiver's hands, but a lot of other times it can go any which way.
I think they'd figure out quickly that Vine wasn't going to kick it over their heads, and they'd move up and catch that ball in the air. 1st and 10, Hadley looking to throw. Throws the pop pass just a little bit underthrown to Ridley, and we've got a penalty flag.
Yeah, I think what we've got is an interference situation. The defensive back for Portage was trying to get over the pop pass receiver, the tight end. His legs got all tangled up in there. It didn't really bother the tight end so much, but anytime there's contact in a situation like that, they're going to throw the flag.
And if that's the case, that's a tough call against the Mustangs.
Well, it'll give the Bearcats their first down.
No, we haven't seen him move the football yet. There they go. In high school football, they'll go back and march it off from the line of scrimmage. And that will be a first down near the 43-yard line. So the Bearcats get their initial first down of the ball game on a penalty. They'll run with the double wide out to your top of your picture. And Hadley will turn and keep it himself. Look like, but instead he gives it to his fullback. That's Chris Taylor, 6'3", 155 pounds, rather. Hadley just followed his fullback up through the hole after he made the handoff. They give him 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. And Hadley wants to throw, and he's in big trouble, and Roberts is going to wrap him up.
Boy, he got chased all over the field by Mark Ruers. Mark turned it right in. It looked like it was going to be some kind of a little bit of what we might call a naked bootleg out there, where he's going to throw or run depending on the situation, and he couldn't do either because Mark was right there to turn him back inside where all the people are.
Mustangs are a very sound and fundamental football team, and they stay in their areas, and that's what happens. He turned it back inside, and Doug Roberts was there. 3rd and 6. They'll move the tight end down and go this time with 2 wideouts, 1 on each side of the field, and Hadley wants to throw again. And Norman wraps him up and whips him to the ground.
Boy, Devin Polderman was right in there, too. We had all kinds of people back in there. The blocking is either breaking down for the Bearcats or the Mustangs are just finding that little seam and blowing right through there on the passing situations where the quarterback just doesn't have a chance to do anything, Joe.
Well, I think that Mustangs with a 20-0 lead can afford to play a little bit more wide-open football and just come in and be more aggressive than maybe they would in a close ball game.
Well, you hit that right. You can gamble an awful lot more when you're up 20-0 than you can when it's a close game or you're behind.
And they almost blocked that punt, but they get it away, and Kopp will take it, and they try the reverse. But the Bearcats smelled it out, so Kopp kept it and actually lost a couple yards.
Might have been one of the reasons that there was almost a block in there as the Battle Creek Bearcats got down there in a hurry. And there wasn't enough time to either set up a wall, or maybe the wall was set up, but Matt Kopp couldn't either hand off or get to the wall. There were 3 people down there, and he was trying to dodge bullets all the way until he got tackled.
Kopp would have been smarter to field that football and run straight ahead, but instead they had that little fake reverse on, and they lost about 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 Mustangs on their own 30. 2:57 left to play in a very quick-moving first half. Portage Central 20, Battle Creek Central nothing. Knight on the option, fumble, and it bounces right back up to Kurt Johnson. Boy, John, when things are going good, they're going good.
Boy, I tell you, you got it exactly right. The ball rolled twice at least before Kurt picked it up and gained almost 3.5, 4 yards on the play.
That's got to be frustrating for Battle Creek. You play good defense on a play, you force a fumble, and ball bounces right back up to the Mustangs.
They did everything right and still lost.
2nd and 9, maybe a long 8. Double tight end formation for the Mustangs, and they'll throw the quick pass, and it's over Norman's head. The tight end, I thought for a minute there, John, like that might have been to Dargis, the wideout.
Boy, it looked like it. Chris Norman leaped up for it. Number 11, Spencer Tuggle, was right there in Norman's face, which may have caused him to lose his concentration a little bit, and Chris Dargis was right behind him.
It'll be 3rd and 8. Dargis again will come and split to the bottom of your picture, near the sideline. Young and Norman, the tight ends. Roush, the center, and Knight, the quarterback, the young sophomore. And we've got penalty flags and the football on the ground. Illegal procedure motion. I think I saw the top of the Mustang offensive line, left guard and tackle, moving.
Right, we'll move that ball back 5 yards, and it'll still be 3rd down. They blew the whistle as the play was just about to begin, rather than after it started, and that's why everything goes back and we start over from there.
So with the extra 5 yards back, Coach Knight will take out one tight end, Chris Norman, and bring in Terry Martin. So obviously a passing formation, but it remains to be seen whether or not they'll put the ball in the air.
And they look for that jet draw, or that draw that they run so well also in a situation like this. You don't want to give up the ball with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Well, we've got a timeout now, but anyway, to get back with that, we don't want to give up the ball down in our territory or anywhere near where the Bearcats will have a chance to be as explosive as they are to get a quick score and kind of change the momentum.
Certainly, John, you wouldn't want to turn the ball over down here and give Battle Creek a chance to go 30 yards as opposed to 60 yards.
Boy, that's right. When you're explosive, you want to move them back as far as you can.
Of course, late October, early November, election time, and if you missed the live cable cast of Focus on Candidates last Thursday night, you can see it again. It'll be aired Sunday night on Channel 30 at 7:30. It's sponsored by the Future Portage Committee. This forum provides you with an excellent opportunity to meet the candidates running for City Council and Mayor, and to hear their view on local issues. And a number of candidates are running this year, including 2 for the mayor's role, and they're both present City Council members, Claude Scheuring and Mayor Pro Tem Don Overlander. Coach Knight has decided what he wants to do. The officials are ready to go. Bearcats are also up on the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 13 with 2:12 left, and the Mustangs leading 20-0 here in the first half. Long snap count. Knight looking to throw, and he'll throw the post to Dargis, and Dargis has it for the first down.
What a read off by Danny Knight. Portage Central brought 2 receivers out here to the short side of the field. Dan Knight takes the ball, looks all the way to his left, and keeps looking left and looking left, where he's got the tight end, and all of a sudden turns back across the field where he's got both Dargis and the other wide out, Terry Martin, to throw to, and he throws it right into Chris Dargis.
And the offensive line gave him all kinds of time to be able to look away and make that play work. This time Spencer Tuggle outfoxes Knight and makes the tackle for little or no gain. Tuggle a senior, Knight a sophomore, and Tuggle, John, wasn't going to be fooled.
No, Dan did just a little bit too long on the read. I think he should have pitched in that situation like that. Getting back to the last play, Chris Dargis, there's another story. A junior who's matured an awful long way. Early in the season, he was a second stringer. He's been out an awful lot since then, and he's just getting better and better.
Certainly is. 2nd and 9, Knight will go straight back this time. Throws a nice ball, and Martin's got this one. Sliding near the sideline up across the 35, down close to the 31.
Timing type play. In that situation, Terry Martin runs the defensive back out like he's going to run a real deep pattern, turns back, and when he makes that cut back in, the ball's already half or three-quarters the way there.
And the Mustangs in the hurry-up offense with 1:11 to play in the first half. Knight again on the straight drop back. And he throws again for Martin, and Martin's got it. And we've got a penalty flag. That's a late hit all the way. Mark Walbeck tackled Martin 3 feet out of bounds.
Boy, that's a tough play for that Battle Creek. They're trying to stop this situation, the hurry-up offense. They've made it may be a little bit of a frustration situation where all of a sudden the guy has run the same pattern twice, made the catch twice, and he's a little mad at himself, and he takes it out on the other ball player, and of course it cost the whole team.
A little bit of frustration perhaps for the whole first half, the way it's gone, but you're getting beat 20-0, and it can be a little bit frustrating.
Boy, each one of those things just keeps kind of etching on your mind, and pretty soon you lose your temper sometimes.
Well, we'll see if the Mustangs will go back on the ground. They've got at least 2 timeouts left, as you see our score 20-0. And Portage Central has the ball down close to the 10-yard line. Looks like 1st and goal for the Mustangs with 55 seconds left to play in the half, and they do go on the ground. Knight keeps it and falls close down to the 5-yard line.
They use one of their timeouts right now, Joe. They're also within field goal range. Brayton, even on the one he missed there. In fact, I thought on the one he missed, he kicked it farther than any other ones. He just didn't quite get the hook enough into it to get it through the goal post.
This has been a pretty impressive drive after that 3rd and 13 pass play. Mustangs with 3 straight passes, 1 to Dargis and 2 to Martin. And tack on that unnecessary roughness penalty, and you've got yourself another scoring opportunity.
Boy, the 2-minute offense has worked just like you design it the whole way down the field. It looks like a Sunday afternoon when the real NFL are playing.
Let me ask you, John, on Dan Knight's passing technique. When he drops back, if you notice, just before he gets ready to throw the football, he drops it down around his waist, then has to bring it back up again to throw.
Boy, that's just got to be some kind of a habit, Joe, that he's had right from the start. It's not a technique that you normally see in a passer. It seems to work for Dan, but it must be one of those things that he's just kind of done forever, and since it works, you don't take it away from him.
Well, you know, I think getting back to the NFL on Sunday, maybe that's where that habit comes from. You watch the pros play, and they have those real strong arms. They can drop the ball down there, but I think Coach Knight would rather that Dan kept it up near his shoulder.
Boy, you sure would with both hands on the ball, just as you were showing. That also that those big quarterbacks have big hands.
So it's 2nd and 6, 2nd and goal. Knight wants to throw, and this one is batted up and behind him. Somebody got their paws on it.
Boy, it sure did. It shows 2 things. It shows that Dan Knight was really firing the ball for it to kick back that far, and somebody who's pretty strong on the other end to be able to hold their hands right up there and to let it bounce back that far. Heck, it bounced back about 10 yards.
Bounced back further than it went forward. It'll be 3rd and 6. The Bearcats are stingy when they get inside their own 10-yard line. Their back's against the wall. Took Portage Central 3 plays to score before. Knight on the pitch. It's fumbled, and the Bearcats may get this one.
The Mustang has slipped in there, but the Bearcats are still jumping like they've got the ball.
And they do. Mike Bradley, mysterious number 71 on our program, out-wrestled Terry Martin for the football.